Hi, welcome to PHP and MySQL video. This is a list of suggestions how you should use this video. The notes for this video can be found here at this URL, and it is loaded here. Okay, so we'll continue our step 4, eg009, and we are still working on the index. Okay, we have it open here. All right, and so this is what we have so far. Okay, when you click on the action figures, MP3 songs, and DVD, this thing appear here. But what you want is you want to list all the products on this side. Okay, so on that side, you want to output a table. Okay, and fortunately, we did it before. We did it in example 008. So we are going to copy our code. So let's close our 9b error. Let's close our main.css. Let's close our 9a connect to database so we have more space to work with. And do I need this? Yeah, I still need this. And I don't need some of the stuff here. I'm just going to copy, delete this, and delete this. Okay, so I'm going to copy from our example 8. So go to our example 8, C10 myPHP, eg008. We have our select, open 8 select in Notepad++. And of course, go back to your eg009. And then go to your AC select. And we have a query on top, say select stuff from products where category ID equal to 1, which is hard coding. And then we prepare, we execute, we fetch all, and we forgot to close cursor. Okay, we'll fix that. All right, we need this. We are going to copy this from our 9C select. Go back to your, AC select. Copy this from your AC select. Go back to your 9C index. You can Control C, or you can right click copy. Go back to your 9C index. Go to the top so we get our category ID. We get all the categories. And now we need to get the products here. Okay. Paste it here. Okay, and don't forget a close cursor. Let me copy the close cursor. Paste it here. So let's start from products where category ID equal to 1. Okay, that is not good because that is hard coding, right? So our category ID should be equal to category ID. And we want to have order, so we want to order them by product ID. So this is just SQL statements we added. Okay, so it should look like this. All right, and obviously we need a bind value now. So prepare, and I can copy because I use category ID. And we are going to bind value to this category ID, so I technically can copy the statement from here. Control C, Control V. Execute, fetch all, close cursor, and we want to see if it works. So I'm going to copy from my AC select. Copy this part of the code. Paste it here. Control S to save. Reload. It works. And depending on what you click, the products generator will change as well. depending on the category ID, okay? But this is not the correct place to put the stuff, obviously. You want to put it here. So let's comment this one out real quick. And you want to put the output here in the section below the category name. Okay, and in our AC select, we did something like this. We have a table. Okay, and we have all the good stuff here. So we're going to copy from table to table. Control C to copy. Come over here. Control V to paste. And the indentation is really nice except this part. I think we are good. Control S to save. Reload. So now your table is on here, right? And this is not good because we fixed with the width. So we don't like that. So we need to make some changes. Okay. So the first thing we want to do is the width is 100%. And then the second thing is we take out the style here. And then we take out the style here. And then we take out the style here. And we take out the style here. Control S to save. Reload. Okay, that looks good. And we can make some changes just to make it look better. For example, I think we are good for now. In my example, it may be slightly different, but I think we are good for now. So a couple of things we can make it look better. For example, the price should be aligned to the right because that's a custom. So here we say we attach a class to it, and the class is called right, which is in the main.css. We define that, and the TD here, class equal to right. Control S to save, reload. That looks pretty good, right? All right. Okay, but there is a small problem here. All right, before I even, okay, there's a small problem here because now you want to delete stuff. So people say, hey, I can add things, but I want to delete stuff. Okay, how can I delete stuff? If you want to delete, you can add a button at the back and say you click on the button, and then that row is going to be deleted. Okay, so in order to do that, I can add an empty column here. And then if you don't like TD here, you can actually change all of them to TH for heading. So let's do that real quick. TH, TH, header, header, header. And then you can get rid of the bold because TH will give you a bold. All right, and then here at the bottom here for each, you are going to add a delete button. Control S to save, reload, delete. Okay, but this is not really a button. This is like not clickable. So you want to replace this with a button. Okay, in order to do that, we are going to get rid of this, break this. And we all know that to submit a button, you need a form. Okay, so we are going to create a form. Okay, inside the form, we need to have action. And we need to have a method. So we are going to use post method for this one. And then we are going to create input submit button to submit the form. And that is called submit button. And the value is delete, which is what you see on the screen. So when you reload here, you see delete buttons. When you click on it, nothing happens because we didn't put action. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want this delete to happen. So let's say I want to delete Mantis. When I click delete, Mantis should be gone. Okay. In order to do that, I have to send this form to somewhere else. So what we are going to do is we say that when we press a delete button to eg009c index.php, it should, when we press the delete button, you should go to a file called eg009d delete product.php. Okay, and then get rid of the record. So we're going to come here and say we want to go to eg009d underscore delete underscore product.php. But this file is not created yet, so we're going to get error. Control S to save. Okay, so when you submit this, okay, to submit this, when you try to click on the delete button, look at the URL here. Let's say you click on Mantis, URL change to 9D delete product, and then you have a file not found error. Obviously, we have not created a file yet. So now we have to create a file called 9D delete product. Make sure you have the correct file name, okay? So let's go and create that file. Before we create that file, let's close our AC select. We just have so many things open. So let's go and create this file. I'm just going to copy the name of the file so I won't type it wrong. Go to eg009, create a new text document, right-click, new text document, correct file name, change the extension to PHP. Are you sure? Yes. Open this in Notepad++. Nothing inside. Add the PHP tag, and we are going to do the delete here and send the user back. Control S to save. So now when you press the delete button, you should see a blank screen instead of error message because nothing is inside. Let's do something here, okay? Here, what we are going to do is delete this row, okay? So Mantis in the database has a product ID of 6. So we need the product ID. And just in case, we also try to pass the category ID back to the page. So we want to try to get a product ID and category ID there. In order to pass the information to the delete page, we have to use something called hidden field. So in the forms, there is something called hidden, which is an input field. And it's called hidden. Again, you guess it. They use a key value pair. The key is the name. The value is what you want to pass. And we need two of this. The first one, we are going to pass the so we are still in the products as P, right? So in the products, we get the whole table. So we have category ID and category name. So we need this. Okay. So for the values, we are going to use category ID and category name for the values. Okay. For the name, we want to, sorry, not category ID, product ID and category ID. So we are going to use product ID and category ID as the value to be passed over. So for the name, we need something similar. So the name is product ID, and the name here is category ID. And these are just HTML names, okay? These are not related to database. This is to pass value to the next page. The value is what we are interested in to pass over, which is 6 to Mantis, 6 for Mantis, and they are PHP, of course. So for the first one, product ID, we are going to use P. Same thing. And we echo them and realize this is still in the loop. And that is called product ID, which is the spelling here. And then the second one is category ID. Okay, and then we send it to the delete product page. And inside the delete product page on top, we are going to connect to the database and then use filter input to get the two values, save it into a variable. So we can copy some stuff here. Connect to the database. And we are going to create a PHP variable called product ID and use filter input. Get it because we are using post method here. Post method here. So that is input post. And then the name is called product ID. And it is obviously an integer. So to prevent unauthorized access, integer. And the second one is called category ID. We create another PHP variable. I'm just going to copy this, but change the name to the name of this HTML name here. Control C, Control V. And then we want to see if it works. So we just echo. And then the second one is the category ID, of course. So if we do Mantis, they should return 6 and 1. Okay, let's see that. Control S to save. Come back here, reload. So you get 6-1 for Mantis and 5-1 for Viper and 4-1 for Monkey, which is correspond to the value here. Once you have these values, you can use it to delete stuff. Okay. All right, let's delete the stuff from the database. To delete that, we can copy our example 8. So in example 8, let's go and open our example 8. We have a file called delete that we did. So let's open 8f, delete. So in the delete, we did the delete query, delete, prepare, bind value, execute and close cursor. So copy this, put it here, and we can delete. It should work. But you want to prevent user from sending in values, wrong values to attack your page. So you want an if-else statement. So, okay, you only delete if none of this is false. So you're not being tricked into doing something you don't want to do. Just for security of the file, press the tab key. So if product ID is not equal to false, nobody try to trick you, and category ID not equal to false, I can do the delete button. And then after you delete, you include the index file, send the user back. Okay, again, this is not the best way to send the user back. Okay, the best way to pass control back is called header location, but we are not really doing the real thing right now. We're just learning the tricks. In example 10, we are going to do the correct thing. So this one actually will cause errors in the long term, but it is not, we are not there yet. So we are not using the correct thing. So this is not the correct thing to do, but it will send the user back by pasting the whole code below this. Okay. Control S to save. Come back here. Now, I don't think we need to reload because the delete will take care of it. If you press delete, they will delete, get the value, delete it, and send the user back. So Mantis is gone. If you reload, you realize 6 is gone. Okay, Mantis is gone. If you press delete here, Viper will be gone. And then reload, Viper is gone. But just a little bit of warning, when you do this kind of strange things, include they didn't pass the control back to the index. Okay, so the PHP engine thinks that you are still at the delete product page. So now when you try to go to the next page and delete, something may happen. Okay, but that's not really part of our problem. It works for now, but sometimes you have a little bit of issues here. But in example 10, all this will be resolved. Okay, this is not the right thing to do. Okay, for example, you go to MP3 song, Kung Fu Panda 2, it still works. Okay, but sometimes you just hit problems. All right. Okay, reload. So we delete a lot of stuff now. And then people will be like, yeah, how to add it back? We need to add the file, add the stuff back. So now you need to create a page to allow the user to add stuff. Okay, but that is the end of this video. We are just making such a long video. Okay, so I'm just going to stop here. But before I stop, I'm going to close a couple of things. Okay, so the next video we can start fresh. Okay, and let me close this as well. Okay, and it's always a good practice to stop your Apache MySQL after things are done. Okay, so that next time when you come back, you can start. All right. My video is getting too long. In the next video, so we finished the delete, we finished the index. In the next video, we're going to do add products and how to add product. And if there's an error, what we're going to do. Okay. Thanks for watching. See you soon.